Morning, grade 3. Again, you are probably sad to see strict Nina ma'am, but I am happy because like I told you, you are one of my most exciting and interactive classes, grades. Let's start this lesson, A House Like This. Sorry about the pencil, it's not very sharp. The story seems to be written by a boy called Nasim. My name is Nasim. Now, first you're going to read to me because I'm not super thrilled with your reading skills and I know you can do better. I live in Srinagar. Where is Srinagar? Kashmir. Since yesterday, there is a lot. Can we write A here? There's a lot of activity in our school. It will go on for a week. Do you know why? There is a camp being held in our school. Children have come from many places for the camp. Tents have been put up in the ground for everyone to stay. And you are the lucky children who last year for Children's Day were in a tent of your own. Do you remember? You had a picnic and it was a much nicer tent than these. But Nasim is excited because at his school, and this must be Kashmir, look at the scenery, there is a camp being held and people are coming from everywhere. Children are coming from everywhere. So he's very excited. Let's read on. We have decorated the school beautifully. Some children have used pieces of cloth to make streamers for the doors. What are streamers? They are these long, we have them as paper streamers, colorful paper streamers. I have some silver ones on my door. I'll show you just in a second. These are streamers. You see these for decoration? These are silver streamers that I had got for our annual day. But now I've just hung them on my door. Let's continue reading. Some have made posters using almond shells while others have made rangolis using dry leaves and sawdust. That's very creative. Almond shells are the shells of the almond seed. I think you know what almonds are. We call them badam in Hindi. And the rangolis, instead of using colored powders, they've used dry leaves and sawdust. Sawdust, almost the word tells you what it is. If you take a piece of wood and you begin to saw it, do you know what a saw is? It's a jagged, it has a handle here, let me draw it, and it can be used, that's a saw, to cut wood. And a lot of carpenters go and cut it. That's sawdust. What is the dust? Bits of the wooden dust that comes off of the block of wood when we saw it. Okay, so they've used this sawdust like a powder and leaves, dry leaves, to make rangoli designs. That's very creative. Let's read on. So Nasim says, today is the first day of the camp. We are very happy. In the morning, we all got together and sat down on the ground in a circle. Each of us introduced ourselves and spoke about where we came from and what we liked to eat. To introduce yourself means to say to someone, hello, my name is Nina. I like to eat dubuk and bhat, or whatever you like to eat. Okay? So that's what they were doing to get to know each other. Children brought pictures of their families and their homes. Everyone spoke about their homes. Bhupen's group was the first to talk. So Bhupen is probably another child. And here he is. He introduced himself and said, let's see what he says. I have come from Molan, a village in Assam. It rains heavily in our place, it rains heavily where we live. Hence means so. So our houses are made almost 10 to 12 feet above the ground. You remember this in grade 2. there was a name for houses like this. Who can tell me? Houses built on long bamboo poles in places where it rains a lot and there could be water or floods are called... I won't tell you. Let's read on. They are made on strong bamboo pillars. The insides of our houses are also made of wood. Now, let's look at this. We will go through the whole, as I read to you, I will go through the exercises. Like I told you in English, you do not have to finish anything in a hurry. Take your time. Why are houses made on bamboo pillars where Bhupin lives? Are present tense. Let's look at the question and see if we can find the answer beginning there, grammar-wise. Houses are made on bamboo pillars where Bhupin lives because it rains heavily there. It rains a lot there. Did you see? Houses are made on bamboo pillars where Bhupin lives because it rains a lot there. Now, I'm not going to write this down. You're going to have to watch this part of the video if you want to know how to write the answer correctly. I've turned the page in my textbook. I'm on page 118. What kind of roofs do these houses have? Why are they made like this? Let's look at the picture. Here's the roof. The top covering of a house is called its roof. What kind of roof? Well, this is a sloping roof. Why? Well, it rains a lot here. That's why I've built this house so high up. So if it rains a lot, I don't want the rain to gather up here on a flat roof. I want the rain to hit the roof but go down, flow down, okay? That's the answer. Let's see if we can do it correctly with correct English and grammar. Alright, we know the answer. Let's see if we can figure out the English. What kind of roofs do these houses have? A present tense. I'm going to begin with these houses have sloping roofs. Full stop. These houses have sloping roofs. Now, if you want to connect this and make a longer answer, you can. I'm going to do it like this. These houses have sloping roofs. Why are they made like this? This helps the rainwater to flow off them. Two sentences. You may do it in one. These houses have sloping roofs because it helps rainwater to flow off. Okay? Let's move to the next one. How does one enter means to go into these houses? How does one enter these houses? Let's look at the picture. Oh, I see why he's asking. He's saying, well, how do you get up these bamboo pillars? You don't climb up the bamboo pillar like a monkey. You climb up this ladder. Kind of beautiful. Like a slopey ladder. And then you go in through a normal door. So you use a ladder, right? Now I know the answer. Let's look at the question again and see if I can write it correctly. How does one enter these houses? Now here this one doesn't mean 1, 2, 3. It is a way of saying someone. How does a person enter these houses? To use the sentence we say, remember does is present tense, so we answer in present. One enters these houses by using a ladder. Okay, what is a ladder? All of us have seen it. The ones that we see are these kind, but we saw in the picture their ladders were slightly more complicated and better built because they are ladders to homes. One enters these houses by using a ladder. Next question. At night, the ladder is removed from these houses. Can you tell or can you guess or can you think why? What does it mean remove? Let's look at the picture again. So I guess removed would be the last person climbs up and says, good night, neighbors, and then maybe just hooks it off. But then how does the person get down again in the morning? Maybe pulls it up. Anyway, for every night, this ladder is removed. Probably, I think it'll be pulled up and stood here, right? Because you want it up there in the night so you can come back down in the morning. If you just unhook it and drop it on the floor, then you're stuck in the morning. So the last person will probably lift it, pull it, slide it, and put it here like a gate up here. Block, yeah? And then the ladder is gone from here, and it looks like this. Now, can you think why? Yes, I can. At night, you don't want hungry wild animals and slippery, slithery snakes, but mostly wild animals crawling up, right? Now I know the answer. Let's see if we can write it correctly. At night, the ladder is removed from these houses. Can you think or tell why? I'm going to use this sentence to answer. The ladder is removed from these houses at night to keep out wild animals. Simple, isn't it? Its present tense is, so that's how I'm answering it, is. The ladder is removed from these houses at night to keep out wild animals. Let's read on. Now, once again, children, this lesson is going to take you probably 2 weeks maybe, or at least 1 week to complete. So please do not panic and try to rush or hurry through this lesson. I'm doing it in one video. You're going to pause it and do your work and then move on. And of course, if you have a question, you can always ask me. Let's look at this person. His name is Kanshiram. Kanshiram told everyone, I have come from Rajasthan. Rainfall is very scarce. When something is scarce, it means there is not much of it. What is scarce around here? Well, we have enough rainfall, but scarce means not have enough. Places where there's not enough water. I think we did this together last year, the meaning. We say that the water is scarce. Not enough of something means that that thing is scarce. So he's in Rajasthan. Rajasthan has a lot of deserts. He says there's not much rain. It's very scarce in our area. It's very hot too. We live in mud houses. The walls of the houses are very thick. These walls are plastered with mud. The roofs are made of thorny bushes. Here's his house. Looks so cute. Here's the mud walls plastered with mud, and the roof is made of thorny bushes that they've cut. Okay, so that's Kanshiram's house. Let's read on. In the same way, all the groups spoke about their houses. After the introduction, once they had finished introducing themselves, saying who they were, where they came from, a cultural program was held. Dances and songs. The children performed, did many dances. They sang folk songs. Folk songs are songs that are sung in a particular place. Folk means people. So people songs means songs that many people sing in a certain place, like Kumaoni folk songs. And he, of course, Kanshiram must have sung a Rajasthani folk song. In their own languages, everybody had kahwa with almonds and cardamom. Kahwa is, as far as I know, a Kashmiri coffee or tea. If you know what this is and you can find it, tell me about it. And it has almonds. I told you almonds are those nuts shaped like this. We call them badam. And cardamom is something we all love to eat. It's green. It has little black seeds. We put it in biryani. Sometimes we just chew it because it's so refreshing. We really enjoyed ourselves. This is still a Naseem talking, I believe, telling us all about the camp. In the evening, we all went to the Dal Lake. We saw, so it is Kashmir. We saw a houseboat. We sat in a shikara, and some children moved the oars. Now, catch my pronunciation mistake. I want to say shikara. And what is that? I believe it's a boat. Why do I believe that? Because oars are the wooden paddles in boats that we use to move ourselves forward. We put them into the water. You might have seen them if you went to Nainital. There's the boat, and the boatman or one of us can move these oars in water. Some of the children moved the oars. We saw the Char Chinari surrounded by blue mountains. Children, here's a bonus question for you. I don't know what this is. And if you can find out for me and tell me about it, that would be fun. Okay? Let's look at the questions. I'll find out if you don't bother to. And you can ask me. But it would be nice if you looked it up. Or ask your parents. How is a houseboat different from other houses? Is our next question. Well, a houseboat is a boat. It's floating on water. It can move from place to place on water. How shall we answer this? A houseboat is different from other houses because it can move on water. Yes, a houseboat is different from other houses because it can move on water. If you'd like to say it a different way, just tell me and we'll figure out how to write it correctly. There is no one correct way to answer this. Would you like to live in such a house? Why? When I was little, I always wanted to, but I've never been to Kashmir. So I would answer, yes, I would like to live in such a house because it would be lovely to be floating on water all the time. Can you imagine? When you live in a houseboat, it's just rocking like this. You'll get dizzy, but the whole room would be moving like this. You could hear the plish, plish of water. If it's wooden, you could hear the wood creaking, creak. And at night, it'll be so beautiful. Nobody can disturb you. There's water all around. So I would love it. Yes, I would like to live in such a house because I would love to be floating on water all the time. And believe it or not, after listening to me, maybe hopefully not in one go, for almost 20 minutes, we are on page 122 with some easy exercises, which I am not going to help you do because I think you all are very, very capable. You are able to finish this yourself. This is from Types of Houses, which we did in second grade. On page 123, it says, put a tick on the names of the things which your house is made of. I'm going to do mine. My house has wood. My house has cement. Does not have canvas. Canvas is what tents are made of. My house has iron because it has the, what we call saria, the girders inside. Does my house have plastic? I hope not. Limestone? No, that's a special kind of stone. Bamboo? Nope. Bricks? Yes, yes, yes. Glass? Yes, in these huge windows. Stone? Not this house in Machkhali. So these are the things that my house is made of. And look at the houses in your neighborhood. You can look around. What are they made of? Make a list, and you can use these materials and list them down. Then comes the last activity. This is your bonus activity to make a brick. Your parents will love it. You have to take some knead. This is said knead. Don't think of the K, don't speak the K. Knead means to use your hands to make into a nice ball of something. And remember, when you are making rotis, first you knead the flour. You're going to take some clay, some mud, some clay. Knead it, make it into a nice. You don't need a lot, you need just a tiny amount. Shall I tell you how much? I'm going to draw it in real. You just need this much. So don't go and fill your hands full of mud. And knead it, make it into a nice ball, and then fill it into an empty matchbox and press it. Take it out when it's dried, so leave it to dry. And then you'll have a little brick. You can color your brick, you can write your name on them, and you can use it to even make a tiny little house. If you'd like to do this, you're welcome to do it. Please do not run out and grab a whole bunch of wet mud and tell your parents this is your work for today. This is extra work once we have finished this whole lesson and understood how to say, how to spell, how to write all the answers correctly. Okay?